I'm going to make, I am hungry now, the meal for Taurus of oxtails. I do not have high hopes for this turning out, but if you don't try, then you don't know. So I'm going to step in the camera and watch Tony's video and make it, and hopefully it turns out. I won't be, sorry about the bumpiness. I won't be doing it for the whole time because as he has it cooking for several minutes, but we can get it started and I can post a picture at the end. So anyway, let's go ahead and try this. He says to get the pan nice and hot first. So I always have trouble with the stove and it gets too hot. So we're gonna wait for that to get hot. First, we're gonna have a glass of wine with our meal. That's what Phil would have done. Anytime that he would cook with wine, he would have a glass of it. So it needs to be good. And today we're using 14 Hands Winery 2021. It's a red wine blend. So at the Dollar Tree today, it has Wine is My Valentine. So that seems appropriate for me as Phil is only here in spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and do what he normally does and drink. And it might be the only thing worth ingesting. So we'll see. Okay, so we'll have that going. I have the oxtails marinating for the past 3 hours with, he said, garlic powder, bay leaves, black pepper, salt, and garlic powder. And I left out the chili flakes as sometimes those can be too spicy. So anyway, here's our oxtails. They've been sitting in the wine bath here for about 3 hours in the fridge, and we're just waiting for my pan forever to get heated up. Still waiting for it. Anyway, let's drink to the stove here. Hopefully it works. Oh, that's good. It's not bad. A fun fact that the name Phil also means horse lover in Greek, and so that's why I chose the 14 Hands with the horse on it. And it's a good red wine. I recommend it. I don't think it's on the cheaper side, but to me, anything over anything over $10 is expensive to me. So just keep that in mind. But I got Tony right here on my video here, and so we're just waiting for this to get hot. Gosh, this stove. It's probably because my pan is really big. We're just waiting for that to get hot, and we'll watch a little bit of
I think we're good to go. I've preheated my grill frying pan. I am going to add a little bit of olive oil in here.
Okay, so we need to add a little bit of olive oil in here. I have the Kirkland extra virgin olive oil that we'll go ahead and pour in here, like he did. And he was pretty generous, so I want to say that's, I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff, measuring. And I'm not a good cook either, so this, you don't know unless you try. So let's keep going on that.
Just a little bit. I will get a bit of fat from the oxtail. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let this heat up here a little bit.
Gotta get it heat nice and hot. So I'm going to pause him for a minute. I'm going to let him pause for a minute and check to see if anybody's here. That's okay. We will make this, and me cooking this is funny. So we're getting this nice and hot, as Tony said. Okay, it's getting there, but have a little bit more wine. That's not bad. And he says to scrape off the garlic before you stick it in there. So I'm gonna do my best with that with some tongs here. I forgot to get utensils out. So let me go ahead and play this video.
Oxtail as I possibly can get. I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit. Bring down slightly. Again,
Oh God,
get
it is hot.
garlic off.
Oh God, open up the window.
Cook with it. Again, a little brown. Your garlic a little bit too much. Maybe a little bit.
That's annoying. So anyway, we're getting it.
I have not had oxtail.
I never had oxtail.
Sometime. So really, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to kind of fry it up a little bit.
He fried it up a little bit and turned it down. So we'll turn it down some. So don't catch the place on fire.
Spice my oxtail a little bit earlier. Okay. So really, all I'm going to do is I want to brown it a little bit. I want to brown the sides.
He says to brown it.
Brown it in here like this, and so on. And then after that, I will turn down the heat, and then I will add the rest of my.
I don't know if the lid will sit on top of it. I didn't realize it's so big.
I'll let it simmer down a little bit. So I'm going to give this up to a nice fry, and we'll take it from there. Okay, and they are coming along just beautifully.
Okay, so we need to cook the outside. To me, this is like searing it, so I did get it turned down a little bit. I'm trying to get it. I turned down too much. See, this is such a touchy stove, I tell you. I'm going to move this a little closer so I can see what I did wrong later. So we're letting this cook up. And now we turned it down too long. But he says later to put in some tomatoes. I use these mini heirloom tomatoes from Trader Joe's. I didn't have any fresh peas, so I got some frozen peas. And like Tony did, I cut up some carrots. And I have a little bit of tomato paste. Like that. Oh, and here's my cut tomatoes. So we're trying to get these cooked up. I turned it down too long. Down. And of course, this stove only knows hot or low. Oh, that's doing good. It's searing. Turn that down. Okay, good. Okay, what's Tony supposed to do next?
Oh wow, so nice. Again, like I said, I don't really have the heat up very high.
His oxtails are smaller.
I kind of want to brown it a little bit. Just like that. That's awesome. So they've been on here for about, I don't know, maybe a good 5 minutes more or less.
Okay, 5 minutes
right now
is
incorporate my carrots and my little tomatoes in here.
So we're going to cook this one side and then we'll add the tomatoes and carrots. I'm getting splattered everywhere. Still, I appreciate that, that's for sure. Oh, and here's my knife. There we go, now I can see what's going on. And try to cook it on this side now. Getting splattered everywhere. Another couple of minutes on that. I'll let you guys know how this all turns out. This will take several minutes from what Tony said, especially these. These are really thick, so it's probably going to take a good 30 minutes or so. I won't be here live doing that. I'll just post a picture. But so, I think this is good enough cooked and seared. Yeah, I can see it seared now. Alright, so let's see what Tony did. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in here.
Again, I'm not gonna add any spices at this point right now.
He said not to add any spices in it right now.
Marinate the meat, so I'm just getting quite a bit of spice off of it. But with that said, though, I mean, once I put everything together,
Okay.
then I'll.
It smells good.
From there. I am going to incorporate my marinade at this point right now.
Okay, he says to incorporate the marinade.
Do it. Beautiful.
I'm thinking turning it down so it can simmer.
Awesome.
That looks good. It smells good. We'll see how many hours this takes to cook since it's so humongous.
I am going to add a little bit of water.
Okay, he said add a little bit of water.
It just so happens that my water's ready to go, so I'm just going to...
He said put a little bit of water in it.
It's great having a current right beside your working area because you can always heat up your water as you go. So again, I'm not going to add a lot of water, but I'm going to add a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to say probably about a cup, more or less, of water.
Okay.
And yeah, and we'll take it from there. Okay, I added a cup of water to it. I just want to taste it. Just
I am not going to taste
See
it.
where
This
it's at?
Meat is not done yet.
Delicious.
It needs to cook up a little more.
Absolutely delicious. I really don't even think I have to add any of the spices to it at all. It is tasting so good.
But it's a good
so
simmer.
So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this up.
Okay, he says to cover it up.
I'm going to turn it down to...
And I already did it, turned it down.
Medium-low, per se.
Okay.
And I'm just going to let it cook probably for a good 20 minutes, half hour, or even longer. I mean, if you want to do it a little longer.
I'll probably do like 40 minutes since it's so thick.
The longer you cook it, the better it will be.
Okay, hopefully.
So, it's good to go. And again, my spices that I added were, again, very simple. It's just wine, some fresh garlic,
we love our
some
wine.
salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, and, of course, some crushed chili peppers in there. And away you go. So you can season to taste after. I can't wait to see.
Thank you, Tony, for this recipe. I'm excited to try it. It's very exotic for me. And thank you for joining my live. Live in Phil's kitchen. Oxtails by I Am Hungry Now, and the chef is Tony. Thank you, Tony. I'm excited to try it. Best live in Phil's kitchen cooking oxtails ever. Thank you for joining me.